What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to Blazers Uprise Live here on a Monday. We kick things off with an early game for the Blazers today. They'll be tipping off around 4:09 p.m. Pacific time, so this will be a little bit shorter stream than usual. We've already had a lot of NBA action today, so for picks against the spread, we're only picking games that have not yet tipped off. We're going to hop straight into things because we don't have time to waste. Eric, I hope you're having a good day. You know, I always start off asking you how your day is. We can't waste time. I hope you're having a good day.
Yeah, I hope you are too, man.
Cool. All right. Picks against the spread standings. I am having a good day because I'm about to pass Jackson. 2 games back of the Jackson himself. I had a good undefeated on Thursday, so that was good. 6-0. Jackson went 3-3. Eric, you're starting to bring it back a little bit. Starting to round back into champion form. 5-1 for Eric. He's now, it's halfway through the season. More than enough time to make up ground on Jackson. Trevin had a good Thursday as well. Connor only 2-4. Zach 2-4. Chris 2-4. Chat, you guys went 4-2. All right, let's hop into the first game. We got your Portland Trailblazers against the Orlando Magic. Portland is a road favorite. Maybe that's shocking. Maybe it's not a big enough spread. I don't know. Eric, what are the injuries in this game?
Well, for the Blazers, Dame, Nance, Zeller, Powell, all outs, and I think Ellaby's out. I didn't see final confirmation on that, if anyone knows, but I don't know if that matters too much to anyone. For the Magic, they are without Wendell Carter Jr., Jonathan Isaac, Markelle Fultz, Etuan Moore, and Michael Carter-Williams. I think this might be the lowest point spread of the year for the Magic.
That's funny. But CJ's back today.
Yeah.
CJ's back. Nurk took a picture of him. Yeah, I'm going to go Blazers. They got Ant, they got CJ, and who does Orlando have? Jalen Suggs, that's it. You know, so
Cole Anthony, Franz Wagner.
Jalen Suggs better.
Wendell is not out for the year. He is out for this game, Jared. I don't know.
Anyway, I'm going Blazers. It's Orlando. And the Blazers got CJ back, and they've been playing better on the road. So that's what I'm rolling with. Zach's going Blazers. He says this is going to be his double down.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Blazers.
Trevin went Blazers. We're going to have a clean sweep on the Blazers, huh? Except Chris likes going Blazers, but he also likes going with Islands. And the Blazers haven't really, I don't know, nobody's had confidence in the Blazers this year, so it's going to be interesting to see what Chris ends up rolling with.
No, the coming up games are not right.
Oh, let me update that. Good catch.
Somewhat. It was David. You caught it.
Now they're right. There you go. Now they're correct. I just forgot to change it. But the slideshow's right. Everything else good. Go. Connor says he has to remind himself he's not voting in chat poll anymore.
Ellaby is officially out.
Okay, interesting. Waiting on Jackson. Waiting on Krish. Connor went Blazers.
Jackson is not in here.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. We'll see if he shows up before the end of the stream. Magic because we don't have Norman, says Krish. Well, that's one way to work around how you always go Blazers and always go Islands. So, anyway, all right, I'm going to end the chat poll. We'll see when Jackson shows up. But chat, this might be your double down. 91% Blazers, my goodness. All right, moving on to game number 2. We got the Miami Heat hosting the Toronto Raptors. Miami's a 3.5-point home favorite.
So the Heat are without Lowry, Markieff Morris, Okpala, and Oladipo. The Raptors are without Kem Birch, Goran Dragic, and last I saw, Gary Trent was questionable. I've not seen an update on his status yet.
I'm going Raptors. We should just have Jackson forfeit all his picks.
Yeah.
Automatic L's.
Yeah, you should want to beat him legitly, not
I mean, I am. I'm on my way.
Okay, so why do you need him to forfeit?
For you guys.
Uh, he'll fall off.
Yeah, he's already
Everyone regresses to the mean at some point.
struggling. That's true. All right, get your votes in. Chat polls in chat. Up next, we'll have Dallas OKC. After that, Spurs Suns. And then finishing off with Lakers Jazz. Connor goes Raptors.
I'm gonna take the Heat.
All right, Eric's going Heat. This is a pretty good spread. E-Ray says would love a Kongwu on the team. A Kongwu would be nice. There was a trade tossed out there by a Blazers website yesterday that had us getting him. That was extremely screwy for the Hawks.
Yeah.
It was like Norm, Rocco, and Nance for DeAndre Hunter, a Kongwu, and 2 Atlanta firsts. Chris goes Heat. Zach went Heat. Nope. Heat. There. Trevin.
Zach said Toronto. Toronto.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know who I was reading then. Yeah, you're right.
Chris and I are the only 2 Heat so far.
Trevin ends up going with the Raptors, and we'll end chat poll. Chat is going Heat as well. It looks like Eric 53% of the vote. All right. Game number 3, we got Dallas taking on OKC. Dallas is an 11.5 home favorite.
So for this is like the healthiest game of the season, I think. The Thunder without Kendrick Williams. The Mavericks have no one listed on their injury report.
Poor Kendrick, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, chat, there's your poll. Zach says chat Holmgren. What? Connor goes OKC. Chris goes OKC. I'm going to go Mavericks. Who did I say? Connor and Chris, yeah.
I'm going to take the Thunder. That's just a little too high for my liking.
Okay. I don't know why Zach is saying whoa in all caps. Apparently the Cavs won. Good for them.
Maybe he's saying whoa because no injuries.
Oh, yeah, probably. Zach going Mavs with me. Let's get it, Zach. I'm going Mavs. Let's see what Trevin goes with. I don't know where Jackson is, Connor. No idea. Jackson hasn't missed any of these. Jackson's been enthusiastic. Maybe he senses his impending doom, though.
Maybe.
Trevin. Wait, no. Trevin. Trevin goes Mavs. All right, and then we're going to end the chat poll. Trevin Mavs. So me, Zach, Trevin. And then chat is also going with the Mavericks. Honestly, Blazers are going to be their double down. I'm just going to say that right now. Game number 4, we got the Spurs hosting the Suns. And the Suns are 3.5-point road favorites.
All right, so for the...
I'm lagging when I'm hardwired and everything. So, we back. I'm not used to. I'm not. Yeah, I was getting lag, which is Ethernet cable and everything. Ethernet, however you say it. I always get made fun of for that. That's a first in a while.
I think the internet just went down for a second because.
Yeah.
So the injuries are Ayton, Nader, Kaminsky, Saric all out for the Suns. For the Spurs, Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Josh Primo, all unavailable. And
Zach Collins is almost back, though.
Side note, yeah, Zach Collins is playing tonight, I guess, in the G League.
Yeah, good for him, man.
Yeah.
Good for him. I'm going to go Suns. Chris is going Suns. Trevin Suns, Connor Suns. Methernet? What? Suns for Zach. Yeah, the Cavs beat the Nets today, 114-107. Good for them. They've won 5 in a row. Congrats to Alex Wolf. Eric, what are you going with?
I'm going to take the Spurs.
All right, that might be an island. Chat went Suns with a very high percentage, and Eric is going with the San Antonio Spurs. All right, 5th and final game today. Utah is a 4.5-point road favorite as they head into LA to face the Lakers.
All right, so the Jazz have Whiteside, Butler out, Elijah Hughes questionable. The Lakers have Anthony Davis, Kendrick Nunn out, Melo questionable, LeBron and Dwight Howard probable.
All right, there's your chat poll, chat. I'm going with Utah.
I'm going to take my Lakers.
You what? Your...
I
oh, God, Eric.
I said it before I saw Zach's comment, and so, like, to dispel chat from getting on my case about it. So I just preemptively said it.
I couldn't even say that phrase, dude. I couldn't even say that phrase, to be honest with you.
I know.
Yeah, I think the season has officially broken you.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're on the Lakers bandwagon now, even though they're below 500. Chris is going Utah. Let's see, we're waiting on Connor. Waiting on Zach. Waiting on chat. Jackson. I don't know where Jackson is. He says Jackson says he'll be home in 5, so after double downs, he'll probably make his picks very quickly.
Not true, Veeks. That's a lie.
What'd Veeks say?
He said, quote, "I've always kind of liked the Lakers, Eric."
Let's go, Connor. Come on, rookie. Hurry it up, Rook.
He has time to type AO, but not. Yeah.
Shout out the Under Armour Gamer $5 dono. He says, "Clip that, please." What, Lakers? Or Eric saying they're his Lakers?
Connor, just be glad you're a mod.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
Ungrateful.
Also, you can't even get your pick in a timely manner. So how can I trust you to be my co-host?
And he's asking to file an application for a new co-host position instead of making his pick.
Yeah.
Why
Dude, Connor's just trying to like
anything out other than what your pick is.
He said I voted Jazz, by the way. Did we miss it? It might have been another. Oh, he said give me Utah. Oh, we're giving Connor crap, and he actually said give me Utah. But whenever mods type out like a sentence with their pick, I never really read it, to be honest with you. Anyway, Connor, welcome to being a mod where we just give you crap even though you made your pick. He's just trying to work his way up the totem pole, man. You ain't getting Eric's spot though. Good, nice try. Chat's going Jazz. You'll start talking about
whatever you want to give me.
Connor would start talking about Timbers frickin' soccer, and Chris and chat would love it, and everybody else would hate it. If he was the co-host.
Can you make it say Westbrook though instead of Westbrook?
Westbrook? Where?
He said he was going to send me a Russell Westbrook jersey.
Oh yeah, I would rock a Westbrook jersey if the front said losers in the Laker font. Anyway, moving on to double downs, and then we'll get Jackson's picks, and then we'll talk. We'll have like 10 minutes for trade talk. My double down is going to be. Oh God, do I double down on Portland? Zach double down on Portland. Chat double down on Portland. Do I double down on Portland? Eric, where are you good at double down?
I'm going. Do I go my island or Lakers? It's tough.
That's two disgusting choices.
Yeah.
But so is Portland.
I'm going to take the Spurs.
Okay.
Connor took the Jazz. Chris also took the Jazz.
All right.
He's not doing his island.
Wow, man. Chris is losing his boldness. You hate to see it. Trevin
took the Mavs.
Okay. Mavs. I thought for sure Chris would double down on Magic because Portland doesn't have Norm. I'm still most confident in Portland. I'm going Portland.
Okay.
I can't believe I'm doubling down on the freaking Portland Trailblazers, but...
That has not worked out much this year.
Yeah. Chris said, I forgot I had an island. Too late, Chris. Can I switch it? I will forward that decision to Eric.
I've already written it down in pen, but go ahead.
I've already wrote it down in pen.
Go ahead.
You should write all your picks in Sharpie, and that can be their excuse. But yeah, I'll rock with it. You can always cross out pen or white out. You should always have some white out ready.
I shouldn't have to have white out. They should make up their minds before they speak.
Yeah, you would think, but you know how it is. Still waiting on freaking Jackson. Anyway, do you want to?
That's not a proper thank you. I think in the essence of time, we should just make Jackson look back at the stream on his own and give his picks.
Yep, I'm down with that. Anyway, I will tell him that in the mod chat. So, gauging buyers and sellers is becoming interesting, okay? So, if you're Portland, you want there to be as many buyers as possible. What is, like, the update kind of around the league, Eric? Is there, more buyers than... Are there more buyers entering the market? What's kind of your feel on just kind of the landscape of the league and maybe some teams and how they're progressing and how their situations might affect things for the Blazers?
I think the way the East is turning out right now is very good news for the Blazers and teams like maybe say the Pacers, who have a lot of pieces that will probably be coveted at the deadline. And that's because I don't think there's a clear favorite in the East right now. I think you can make a case for a lot of teams, even some of those that are in the play-in area, that they, with a good move, could rise up in the standings and do what the Hawks did last year. So I think there's going to be a lot of buyers in the East. And then you have that combined with Kevin Durant with an injury now, Zach LaVine with an injury on top of some injuries they already had. That puts two teams that are maybe going to be somewhat desperate here heading into the trade deadline to kind of compensate for those temporary losses. Mm-hmm. And guys like Robert Covington, who is on an expiring contract, would be very valuable to both of those teams in particular. And there might be some sort of bidding war. And then you look at a team like the Wizards, who are kind of falling out of it. Like, do they make a move to get back into it? You have the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have to be sitting there thinking, with our defensive ability with Mobley and Allen, why not us? Like, what team can we not stop in the playoffs? So a guy like CJ McCollum to kind of change their, because they have several games where they have offensive just duds where they score like 80 some points and and they're still in games because of their defense, but they need a bucket getter. So I think a team like that might overpay for that kind of player. And then and then you have the 76ers, still like a mystery to everyone. But let's say Cleveland is about to overpay to get a CJ McCollum. Does that make Morey panic and be like, oh crap, maybe I should have reconsidered CJ, and then a CJ for Ben Simmons type trade then becomes kind of a last second desperation by the Sixers when they realize they might not get anything at the trade deadline worth better than CJ.
Yeah, and then you have basically it's a situation. Well, let me just paint it this way. Basically, it's a situation where if there's more buyers for CJ McCollum, the Blazers have more leverage on Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Right? If there's more buyers in the market in general, the Blazers in general will have more leverage, assuming they're selling.
Yeah.
So, go on.
And even a team like the Knicks, who were in a similar position last year, but end up going on a run towards the end of the season and getting, I think it was the 4th seed, right?
Yeah.
They have to be sitting there thinking, like, they're only a few games out of that being realistic again this year. So I don't think they're sitting there thinking, oh, this is a wasted year. I think they might make a move to go for it. You already saw them pick up Cam Reddish. So they might have another big move in them as well. So
yeah, they're sitting at 500, right? 11th place, but they are only 6.5 games out of first.
Yeah.
That's how jam-packed things are.
So I think this is a really good sign. And then the more teams that are buyers, the more, like I said, a guy like Robert Covington, or maybe even teams, if they eventually need centers, stuff like that, the Miles Turner and Yusuf Nurkic types, those prices will go up as well. And then we have two good guards. And outside of maybe if you want to throw in a Karis LeVert, there aren't a lot of guards to the level of CJ and Norm that could potentially be available at the deadline. So any team needing a kind of scoring guard, and both CJ and Norm are different, so that they apply better to different teams. So I think I really think the fact that it is so bunched in the East is going to make a lot of those teams get desperate. And I think it'll start with the Nets, in my opinion. I think they're going to make a trade, not necessarily with the Blazers, but to just get someone else to help them while Durant's out, and try to stay atop in the East.
Yeah. And the East is where I think a lot of the potential action with the Blazers will happen, because I look at the West and a lot of teams have a lack of assets or matchable salary that they trade out for certain guys, a lack of picks, whatnot. Like you look at Golden State to get Nurkic and match his contract, they're going to have to trade one of their lottery picks from the past 2 years, right? And do they want to do that? I don't know. They don't really have a contract to match otherwise, though. You look at Phoenix, they don't have their pick this year, but maybe that's a player. And you look at Utah, they have traded a pick with like weird protections, and they already kind of have a set rotation and have good role players, so and have good guards already, so they're not really a fit for Portland. Memphis is interesting as like a Norman Powell trade. I feel like that could be a sleeper team that we haven't talked about for Norman Powell that maybe he would make some sense in, because I feel like he would kind of fit the way they play. They play up tempo, they play fast, and Norm would be good in that. And you move Dylan. I think Dylan Brooks isn't Dylan Brooks already the starting 3, or has he been their starting 2?
I think Bane's there too. And
they got Bane.
He's been really good. So I
completely forgot about Bane. Yeah, never mind. Yeah. I completely forgot about Bane, man. So like Memphis doesn't make sense for CJ or Norm. Then Dallas doesn't have their pick this year, but I don't know. In order for a CJ trade to make sense, it'd have to be Porzingis, but he's been playing well. So as you go down through the West, like Clippers don't have their picks, Lakers don't have their picks. A lot of the Western Conference teams don't really have the assets or the way to go out and trade for some of the players on this Blazers roster. So really it's just watching the East and seeing how that standing scenario plays out. And if you're Portland, you want that to be as bunched up as possible with as many good teams as possible, because that's going to create the most buyers. And right now that's the case with 11 teams within 6.5 games of each other, 11 teams at 500 or better. 5 of the teams are tied with 27 wins at the top of the standings.
And even a team like Atlanta, who's not in one of those 11 spots that you mentioned, they're not trying to waste a season either. They think if they get back in the playoff picture that they could make a run like they did last year. So I think they might do something kind of foolish to like kind of give up some of their future to try and get back into things this year. So take advantage of any of those teams. And the only team in the West that I see as a big player for either CJ or Norm is New Orleans, which we've already talked about at length in previous streams. But this is how you make good trades to set yourself up. You take teams like Cleveland and Atlanta and New York, if they want to be in this category, the Nets, the Bulls. You go for teams that think they have a chance to win it all this year and are willing to give up a little more than they normally would for the same level player, just because they're kind of in desperation mode to make sure not only to make their team better, but like the Nets don't want the Bulls to get like a Robert Covington, right? So they might come over the top with a better offer for him. I mean, not saying they can. I'm just saying, like, hypothetically, they might be willing to include like a Claxton or someone that they didn't think they would include for a trade earlier in the season. But like now they kind of have to, and then they have like Day'Ron Sharpe playing well. So like maybe a guy like that becomes expendable that you never thought was on the radar earlier in the season. Or in the Bulls case, Patrick Williams, if they get super desperate, who is out for the year. I'm not saying that's realistic, but that would be my ultimate dream, is if we somehow got into a bidding war to where the Bulls felt it was necessary to include him in the trade. So yeah, I would definitely do everything I could to take advantage of those teams right now. And I especially think Cleveland is going to make a run, because they want to prove to everyone that they can do this without LeBron. And I think they have a big enough need at the guard position to where it still makes a whole lot of sense for them to be the team that goes after CJ or Norm. And I just like to take advantage and get a lot of assets for those guys if we're going to trade them.
Yeah. So in the West, rooting for New Orleans to win games makes it more likely that they make a splash.
They
for
lost
Norm
this morning, unfortunately.
Yeah, so rooting for New Orleans. In the East, rooting for Atlanta to kind of catch up to the pack. Rooting for New York. Rooting for Boston even could make sense as a CJ destination. Don't really care for Toronto, Charlotte, even Washington, really. Philadelphia's kind of weird case. I don't know if like losing would make them more likely to trade Simmons, or if they won more, then they would feel like I don't know. I don't know which way they go depending on if they win or lose. But yeah, if Cleveland keeps doing well, then that's definitely another landing spot. So that's kind of the picture wanted to paint today with limited time, is just kind of the situation in the East with some of the buyers and which teams you should maybe be rooting for in terms of what could create the best action at the trade deadline for the Portland Trailblazers. Mm-hmm. So that's going to wrap up that segment. We'll talk more trades on the post-game show tonight, going live in about 2.5 hours. We have Jackson's picks, so I'm just going to plug them in real quick. So he goes Blazers here. He goes Heat. So we disagree here. Hopefully I can catch up to him. Heat. He goes Thunder. We disagree here. Hopefully I could catch up to him.
And then he has the same picks as you the last 2 games.
Cool.
And same double down.
Yeah, I didn't really like that, but at least it won't be Portland screwing me over in my quest to catch up to Jackson. But anyway, there we go. Jazz and
Jackson. Thanks for doing that, because you would have ruined my double down island, so I appreciate it. I'm going to gain 2 games on all you guys.
Yeah, he's doubling it down on the Spurs. So good luck to Eric on that one. I wouldn't mind you winning that one, honestly. I don't really, you get another runner in the action. And yeah, anyway, that was a lot better than going back over some previous streams for some people that was the start. So cool, that was good. All right, so that wraps up the stream. This game is tipping off probably right now. So we're just going to hit you with the outro. Enjoy the game. We'll catch you after it. As always, peace out. Go Blazers.